Today, let's do a step-by-step walkthrough of exactly how to use the most powerful SoFi feature, Vaults, including how it can help you grow your savings way faster. All right, so obviously I've talked about this feature at length before, but what I want to do today is show you what vaults are and how you can best use them by going inside my SoFi account, because I feel this is one of the best SoFi features that does not get enough attention. So if you have a SoFi checking and savings account already, then I highly recommend that you follow along with me, and if you don't, then I'll leave some helpful reviews down below the like button, as well as a link where you can sign up and get some free cash. But let's hop into my SoFi account and get started. All right, so as you probably know, when you first open up the SoFi app, you're going to be brought to the home screen, and yours might look a little bit different depending on which SoFi tools you were using, but as you can see, I use every single SoFi product except for their lending products. But the Vaults feature is housed under the banking section, so you can either click on banking at the top of the screen or select the banking tab towards the bottom left. Now from here, you'll want to select savings, and this is where all of your vaults are going to show up. So you can see that I already have a ton of different vaults set up in here, which I'll explain in a second, but if you don't have any vaults currently, then this screen is most likely going to be blank. I do want to clear up that unlike some other platforms that we've looked at previously, a vault within SoFi is not a separate account, and really it is just a digital envelope within your savings account. So there isn't a separate account number, you're not opening a separate financial account, so you are welcome to open and close your vaults as much as you want. But as I talked about in this recent video on how exactly I do my budget and what tools I use, the Vaults feature of SoFi is a huge part of my regular financial habits, and as I'll show you later in the video, you can set all of this up on Autopilot so that you literally don't have to do anything. All right, let's open up your first vault. So you want to select the Add Vault button, and from here it's going to give you a list of different canned options that you can see, like emergency fund, housing fund, and a bunch of other things. Or you can also select the general other option at the bottom of the screen. For our example, let's say I'm saving up for my next vacation. So I'm going to select travel, and from here you'll have the opportunity to change the vault's name and enter the goal amount if that applies. Now, if you're setting money aside each paycheck towards taxes, for example, then you're probably not working towards a specific dollar amount, so you don't have to input that here. But in our case, let's say that we know our vacation will cost $5,000. So once we enter that amount, we could then click Next, and from here it's going to ask us to transfer money into the vault that we just created. And as you can see in the top right corner, you do have the option to skip this if you just want to add money later, but you can also set up automated transfers or do a one-time transfer. And again, I'll show you how those automated transfers work in a second. So since I already keep all of my savings in these different vaults, you can see that I only have a couple of bucks in my general savings account. So because of that, I'm going to click on the From option, meaning where are you going to pull these funds from, and instead I'm going to select my checking account, but you could also add a third-party account as well. Then you can either enter the amount that you want to transfer as a one-time transfer, or you can select the recurring transfer option and select the frequency, which in this case is monthly, and you can select the day of the month that you want that transfer to happen. But for now, let's just do a one-time transfer, and let's transfer $100. Now you can see that transfer is complete, and our vault is now set up and ready to be used. And if we go back out to the general vaults page and scroll all the way down through my different vaults, you can see the travel vault that we just created. And if we click on that, it allows you to view your goal, see the total balance in this vault, reminds you that you are currently earning 3.5% APY on all of the money in your savings and your savings vaults, which is pretty awesome. And then below that is a few options for Autopilot, which is what I want to talk about next. And trust me, you don't want to skip this part. So these Autopilot tools are relatively new and something that I just recently started using. And this is really what has changed the way that my wife and I handle our money and our budget, and has allowed us to put all of it on Autopilot. So quickly, if we go all the way back out to the general banking tab and scroll down a little bit, you can select Autopilot in this menu, and you'll be able to see all of the different automated transfers that I currently have set up into my different savings vaults. And personally, we get pretty detailed, including stuff like a monthly transfer for our utility bills that you can see here, care, monthly transfers for our home insurance, monthly contributions to our IRAs, and even setting money aside for property taxes. Again, if you want to see exactly how we do our budget every single month, then you can check out this video. But long story short, a lot of our bills that you can see in here are either billed quarterly or annually, but we want to make sure that we are setting that money aside as part of our monthly budget so that when those bills arrive at the end of the quarter or the end of the year, we are able to pay those bills and have that money already set aside. And remember that these are all automated recurring transfers that we have set up so that on the first of every single month, that money is pulled from, in our case, our checking account and goes directly into each respective savings vault. But you could set this up to transfer money on the days that you get paid or whatever day works best for your financial situation. But again, the split your paycheck tool can be used in a number of different ways and essentially allows you to pay yourself first and automatically set money aside out of each direct deposited paycheck. So if you have trouble saving money, then this could absolutely be used for that. But the real value that I see in this feature is if you are a freelancer or maybe a contractor or a gig worker or really any profession where you have to account for your own taxes. Because with this, it's really a fantastic way to set aside a portion of each paycheck to ensure that when you pay your quarterly or annual tax bill at the end of the year, you aren't smacked with some huge tax bill that you didn't see coming and aren't able to pay. And what's great is they also recently added a percentage option. So if you hit the setup autosave, you can see it defaults to a dollar amount, but you also have the option to select use percentage instead. So if you know that your tax rate is 25%, for example, then we can type that in here. And each direct deposited paycheck that now comes in will automatically have 25% of that set aside into this tax savings vault. Now, I personally do something exactly like this within my business banking account before I ever even pay myself out of that account. So that's already accounted for my case, but it is nice to be able to do that within SoFi now as well. And the last Autopilot tool is the roundups feature. And if you turn this feature on, you're able to select which vault you want those roundups to go into. And if you're not familiar, roundups is a feature that's been along for a very long time. And essentially, it just means that if you spend $1.25 on your SoFi debit card in this case, then they will automatically round up that purchase to $2 and deposit that extra 75 cents into the vault that you select. So again, if you seem to have trouble saving money or setting money aside, then this could be a way to save that extra change every time you swipe your card. So obviously, taking the lump sum of cash that might be in your checking or savings accounts and breaking it down in a way that allows you to save towards your various financial goals and stay on top of your upcoming expenses is incredibly helpful, and in a lot of ways gives you peace of mind and permission to spend money as well, because you know that your needs are already taken care of. And while I get that this might look a little chaotic and confusing, remember that once this is all set up, it is completely automated, and all of those transfers are going to happen without you having to do any additional work. My direct deposited paychecks come in throughout the month, and then on the first of every single month, all of those transfers automatically are pulled from our checking accounts and goes across the different savings vaults that we have set up via those automated transfers. And those transfers then automatically sync with the budgeting app that we use so that we can track them in there as well. And remember that all of the money in these vaults is still fully FDIC insured and earning 3.25% APY. And honestly, this is the most powerful tool within SoFi that allows you to take hold of your finances that I feel is just not talked about enough, which is shocking to me. Remember to check out this video to learn exactly how my wife and I do our budget, or this video to see 5 hidden features of the SoFi platform. And be sure to sign up using the links down below to get some free cash when you open your SoFi account. Take it easy, and I'll see you in the next one.